demonstration of the TQ score and the components that are associated with it, how we do calculations of that, and basically the benefit that a person using a TQ score can have, and the benefit that a person assessing someone with a TQ score can gain. So the first thing you'll probably notice is that Carl here has a TQ score of 675. This score is, if you think of it as a credit score, but instead of it for being how much somebody would be willing to lend you something, it's more about how much you would be willing to do business with them, or how much you'd be willing to have them involved in your project. So the TQ itself, although it has an overall score, it's actually made up of various different components. And one thing that we think is really helpful about that is that you can actually drill down into the score and see what makes somebody's score higher than somebody else's. So, for example, on Carl, he has a number of sources here for his identity. And if we look here at his performance, we have a whole host of different elements here that we can drill down into and get some information about. So that's a useful overview, but how does Carl improve his TQ score? So Carl has made a number of claims on his profile on TQ, and two of them here. One is a university degree, one is a professional membership, and the last one here is identity. So you can see that identity here is marked as verified, but the other two, university degree and professional membership, haven't. They're marked as unverified. So if Carl wants to verify his degree, he can simply click on his profile and he'll be given the option to verify his claim. So in this context, he's verifying a degree. And if we open up the document that Carl is uploading, you can see the details here. So this document here basically is the subject matter of another video, which goes into detail of how TQ certification works and how participating universities and professional bodies and other membership institutions can use a digital degree in sync or at the same time as they use their other traditional means. So with the case of a university, it would be a paper document. But anyway, suffice to say that the document has special data inside of it. And when Carl uploads it onto TQ, it's a verification process happens behind the scenes. Now, you don't actually need TQ to run the verification process, but what TQ does is that it allows you to pool all of your degrees and basically your accomplishments into a single place, and it's useful for when someone's considering your profile, what things we know about you are true. So anyway, let's upload this document, and boom, there we go. Verification is instantaneous as that. It only takes a second. Basically, the process is very quick. And as I said, we'll have another video talking about how certification works and a bit more detail about verification. So now the degree is on Carl's profile. Let's go back to his profile, and we can see his university degree now has been marked as verified. And not only that, but Carl now has a TQ score of 725. So it's increased a little bit. His verification score has increased. And so if Carl wanted to verify his membership, he would go through a similar process to what we've just seen with his university degree. If you, as somebody who was looking to work with Carl, wanted to see the details of the verification, you just need to click on this part. If you want to see the underlying document, then we can do that. So we can see this here. And then if we come back to Carl's page, then we can see the overview. So anyway, the other thing about TQ score is that it's designed to be comparable like for like between people. And this is because the TQ score cares more about trustworthiness and less about suitability. So an individual's suitability can be assessed independently of how much you should be able to trust a person. So the elements that come into here, so performance and reputation and identity and verification, these things, they're not related necessarily to how skilled you are at being an accountant, or how much experience you've got as a spinal surgeon. It's more about, although that does play a role into that. It is more about how trustworthy is this individual, and how much do we as a platform rate them. So anyway, we can compare Carl's score here against Jen. So we can see that Jen actually has a lower score. She has a score of 550, whereas Carl has a score of 725. But because of the TQ can show you what components make up this score, we can actually see why Jen's score is less than Carl's. So here we've got the blue part here, which is identity. And actually, Jen has a higher verified identity, which means that we are more confident, significantly more confident, that Jen is who she says she is. And in fact, if you look here, it's a score of 250, which is actually the maximum score you can get for an identity. So this means that we are as sure as we can be that Jen is who she says she is. The next thing here is performance. So the performance element between Carl and Jen seems to be about the same. It looks comparable. And again, on the green one, that's identity. It seems like Carl is ever so slightly more than Jen, but not that much. But where Carl really does significantly better than Jen is on the reputation. So you can see here that Carl has a very large reputation compared to Jen's. Now, this might not be because Jen has not got the reputation that Carl does. She may well do, but it might be that she lacks verification of her reputation. Or it might just be that Carl really does have a significantly large reputation because he has been working in this particular field for many years, whereas Jen is just starting. But anyway, this is the brief overview of the TQ and the TQ score, and how verification plays into it, and some of the processes and the work that we've been working on to present this. I hope that you've enjoyed the video, and I look forward to speaking to you in the next one. Thank you very much.